Hi, I'm Anne Bowditch. I'm a therapist and an author, and I'm just going to touch on using a technique called emotional freedom technique, or tapping, it's also known as, to help release some anxiety. So we're just going to go with the basics here. So we're going to start with the tapping points, and this is part of the body's meridian system. So at very least, it will help to relax your system. The first point is known as the karate chop point. It's just on the side of the hand. You can tap either hand, and I use 4 fingers just to tap there. Flat hand on the top of the head, just slightly nearer the back, just tapping there. And then 2 fingers where the eyebrow starts. Follow the eye socket to the side. Follow the eye socket to under the nose, under the lip on the indent, under the collarbone. I tend to use 2 fingers, just tapping lightly, under the arm, and then we're just tapping alongside the nails, so just on the sides there, again either hand. So those are the points, and we're just going to start very simple round, and we're just going to focus on a few feelings. So when people feel anxious, they normally have some sensations. So just notice what sensations you have specifically. Now, I'm going to just go with some general ones. So I'm going to assume some butterflies in my chest and a tightness in my belly. That tightness could be a colour, so I might associate a colour with it. And if I thought of a colour, I'd probably think of green. That's the colour that just pops into my head right now. Feel free to change my words for your own so that they're more specific to you. So if, say, you've got a red lump in your throat, you might say this red lump in my throat. Perfect. If you're not sure, you can just go along with what I'm saying. Here we go. On to the karate chop point, and we do this one 3 times. Here we go. Even though I feel anxious, I choose to let it go. Even though I feel anxious, I choose to let it go. Even though I feel anxious, I choose to let it go. Feeling anxious. Butterflies in my chest. Feeling anxious. Tightness in my belly. Feeling anxious. Feeling anxious. Butterflies in my chest. Green tightness in my belly. This anxiety. Feeling anxious. Butterflies in my chest. Tightness in my belly. Feeling anxious. Okay, if you have something like a sip of water available, then do take that, because it will help with your body detox, because this type of treatment can really help your body detox. You might have noticed I did a mini yawn there towards the end, and actually my release mechanism seems to be yawning. I can do a round of tapping and very often it will make me yawn. So that's just how I release. You might release in some other way. I know somebody who used to belch as her release, but it could literally be anything. It could be a sneeze, could be a cough, could just be a funny feeling, it could be anything, or you might not particularly notice anything at all. When I've done a fair bit of tapping with my clients in a treatment, they might feel very tired after a session. Very often clients will report that they sleep really well the night after a treatment session, which is really great. So that's one round. Now, something we didn't do in the first round was just to score the anxiety. Now, the reason it's helpful to score the anxiety is, particularly more so when you're working with a practitioner, is just to know that it's going in the right direction. So if my anxiety right now is a 6 out of 10, it means that if I could get down to a 0 or a 1, I'd be really, really happy, and I would have little or no anxiety at all, which would be wonderful. I'm just going to check in with the feelings. So what are those butterflies like? Well, I'd say that they feel more like tadpoles now. Just trust what information flows into your mind. Sometimes that information might seem really weird, but just go with it. And what's the feeling in my belly? It's a bit like a rubber band in my belly now. It feels smaller, but a rubber band is the thing that comes to mind. Just checking, because you might have some other feelings. Sometimes as the energy shifts, it can move around. Like very often when I'm working on an issue for myself, the energy either moves up and out or down and out. Different for different people. So trust whatever you're experiencing, it will be fine. So we're going to do another round, very simple again. I'm just going to work with those changes. Again, if you've got specific changes within your sensations, then go with those. Even though I feel anxious, I choose to let it go. Even though I feel anxious, I choose to let it go. Even though I feel anxious, I choose to let it go. This rubber band in my belly. These tadpoles in my chest. Feeling anxious. Feeling anxious. These tadpoles in my chest. This rubber band in my belly. Feeling anxious. Feeling anxious. These tadpoles in my chest. This rubber band in my belly. This anxiety. Tadpoles in my chest. Rubber band in my belly. I feel like I need to yawn again. Okay, so again, take a deep breath as I do my release yawn. And see what's going on for you. How does it feel? How are you doing? Have some water if you have some available. And again, just check in. What does everything feel like for me? Well, my belly just feels like a little rubber ball, I'd say. Quite a small one, almost like a marble size, but not a marble intensity, just sort of a little bit of rubber. And in my chest it feels, I don't know, it's a little bit, just a little bit muffled, a little bit mini bubbly, a bit maybe like more like champagne bubbles, which sounds quite nice actually. But that's what I'm feeling. And my anxiety is about a 4 out of 10, so it's come down a little bit more. Hopefully yours has too. If you're anxious about a certain issue, so it might be anxious about going out, then you can include that wording. I'm just going to show you how to do that. So again, if there's a specific reason for your anxiety, then include that. So we're going to do another round just with a few changes there. Here we go. Even though I feel anxious about going out, I choose to let it go. Even though I feel anxious about going out, I choose to let it go. Even though I feel anxious about going out, I choose to let it go. These champagne bubbles in my chest. This small rubber ball in my belly. Anxious about going out. Feeling anxious. These champagne bubbles in my chest. This small rubber ball in my belly. Anxious about going out. Anxious about going out. Champagne bubbles in my chest. Rubber ball in my belly. Anxious about going out. Champagne in my chest. Rubber ball in my belly. Take a breath. Again, mini yawn for me. So I'm getting a great work through with my energy system here. A lot of releasing going on. And there you go. That's how to do some tapping. It's a good introduction. Again, just check in. What's the score? Mine's a 2 out of 10. Feeling pretty good now, actually. And you can tap on all sorts of issues, but that's just a really nice introduction on tapping for anxiety. If you'd like to know more, or you'd like to contact me to find out about working with me, then you can do. My website is hypnotherapy.gg or at hypnotherapy.gg.